Hello to the Bowtie community. I am Mahmoud Faisal Elkhatib, Bowtie attorney, and I'm here with the lovely and good friend Nisch Rawal. He's a CPA, and you are on Bowtied in Real Estate, where we untangle title and we tie up deals. So, Nish, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been what, 1 year? Time flies by.
Has it been a
Time.
year?
It has been a year when we met,
Oh,
right?
when we first met.
Yeah, when we
Yes,
first met.
that's right. That's right. Wow, time does
Time
fly.
flies. Yeah, it's been
Wow.
beautiful journey. How's it been for you? How's the year?
The year's been good, been busy, been growing. We added this podcast and doing some other great things in marketing and a lot of stuff with clients and events and stuff. And it's been exciting. It's been
Nice.
exciting. How about you? What have you been up to this past year?
Man, a lot of traveling. The business has been good, but something personal as well, So this year was very interesting, the least, I would say. My brother had a health scare, so he
Oh,
was in the hospital.
I'm so
Uh,
sorry.
that was December. That was my Christmas, New Year's. We started
Oh,
the
that's
year
rough.
off with me getting my green card. And
Congratulations.
thank you. I was excited to
So you're
go
now
back home.
documented.
I was, but now I'm in the system. I can actually get a gun now, so that's good.
Wow. Wow. Spoken from a man definitely from Florida.
No, all jokes aside. So yeah, it was good start of the year. I was like, oh, I'll go home, see my family. Turns out next week, the following week, right after I was in Chicago
Right? You
earlier
were here
this year.
in March, right? March, April, I think it
I
was.
think it was January. Yeah, January, end of
Oh,
January,
that's
early
right.
Feb.
It was the middle of the winter.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah,
early
yeah.
Feb. Went back. That was the time I got my green card. I remember us celebrating.
That's right. That's right. I remember
And
that.
yeah, just got the news that my grandfather passed away.
Oh, I'm
So
so sorry.
had to take the next flight to India. And mind you, that was during tax season, February,
Oh,
March.
wow.
And here we are, man. So it's been really up and down. Business has been growing. We're adding
Good.
a lot of staff.
Good. You had a few acquisitions, didn't you?
We are working on we had an acquisition late last year. We're
Okay.
working on a few now. I signed two
Good.
NDAs
Well done.
before, thank you, before coming here. So things are great, man. I feel like a kid in a candy store.
So you said your tax season. So you are a CPA, which means you are. Tell people what does that mean for those of us who don't really know what a CPA stands for.
Yeah, CPA is certified public accountant. One of the probably least sexy industries,
Got it.
except when I'm talking to my attorney friends. I
Right.
have no idea why
You
they
get
think my
juiced up.
yeah, I don't know why they think my industry is hot, pretty sexy, but it's pretty much we take care of the boring numbers and work in tax, a lot of tax. So there's a very interesting misconception about CPAs that they only do tax,
Right.
right? So we're not just tax preparers. We go above and beyond from being an expert witness in financial fraud cases,
Oh, wow.
right?
Okay.
To structuring a lot of M&As. We're doing it for ourselves so we can assist clients
Got it.
doing the QOE, which is quality of earnings report, make sure these acquisitions make sense,
Structuring the financials for mergers and acquisitions and helping facilitate those.
helping facilitate those,
Okay.
making sure that the financials are kosher per
Got
se,
it.
as well as, of course, tax planning, audit. A lot of audit work. So it's a
Okay.
full service CPA firm. Basically, my team makes me look good, so I can be here in
Got it.
Chicago doing this.
Can you look pretty
It's
and
great.
then
Yeah.
so what's your typical client look like? Like what's your ideal client? Like what do you guys look for?
So we look for, no, it's a great question, man. And I've been pondering a lot about it, right? To develop my niche and what is something I'm passionate about. And
Niche
I've,
trying to develop his niche.
right. Uh, and I've been debating, and so far, hopefully, I'm able to find it. But somebody that has a growth mindset will take on, right?
Okay.
And I'll give you few extremes. I was recently assisting this startup. I helped close their Series A plus round. Startups usually they go out, they have to raise money because it's tech focused, which is very capital intensive.
Right.
We come in, we structured the deal. I helped build their CFO department, accounting department. We closed their Series A plus round. We raised about $24 million
Oh wow,
at, yeah, their valuation came out to be $220 million
that's
valuation.
fantastic.
It was a very nice project. That's one extreme. Two, this mom of two, she lives in Michigan. She'll be making six figures for the first time in her life, right? And it's pretty extreme. So we have different departments that take on the work, and we are able to help assist clients with their
Got it.
niche. But
So W-2 people, 1099s, mergers and acquisitions, startups, you've got a whole range of clients that you can service.
yeah, it needs to make sense for W2s.
Right.
Usually we're the first ones to recommend folks to go to likes of TurboTax or H&R Block,
Got it.
because as a CPA firm, I cannot charge TurboTax prices,
No, of
right?
course not. So what
So
would be, so I'm guessing essentially a person would want to come to a CPA when their tax bill's a certain amount,
yes,
where it really makes sense.
depending on what state you live in. Florida, there's no state tax.
Right.
Certain states like Illinois, California, New York, where we work a lot, because there are state tax issues involved, we take over folks with higher W2. So we help them get proactive with their tax planning based
Got
on
it.
strategies that we develop in house. Yeah.
Okay. And so like if I were to say like I'm a W-2, is there an income level where it makes sense to actually start talking to you? Like a person making $50,000 a year sounds like that's really not, they're more of a TurboTax person, right?
Yes, it would make sense
So
for them. Yeah.
person's minimum income that they're making gross, what would be, at what point should they pick up a phone and be like, look, I need to talk to Nisch?
I would say if your tax bill is close to six figures, $100,000
Or more?
or more, it would make sense to go with a CPA, not necessarily us. We need to be sure it's the right fit, but essentially I would recommend somebody to be with a CPA.
It's a little higher net worth.
Yeah.
So their income's their tax bill is pushing $100,000, and that's like, okay, now we should have a conversation about how to restructure this so that way it makes sense.
Yes.
Very cool. And so, but you're in Chicago today, and you came in last night, and you're in Chicago today because we're doing an event together, aren't we?
That's right. I came to Chicago because of you, man. Thanks for
Thank you.
having me. And I remember I was here in January, and actually first time seeing snow flurries. So
Oh wow, that's right. You were so excited about the snow.
yes, I was like a little kid, man, and I wanted to be back, see the Chicago in summers. We stayed in downtown last night, and now here we are in the suburbs.
So what's the event tonight that we're doing?
I'm very excited, and we're setting this event up together. We're going to be presenting about the big, beautiful bill. There are some tax strategies that we are recommending in real estate professions. So it would be valuable for all the real estate professionals out there to be
Right.
a part of this event. Listen, provide us feedback, and see if it makes sense for them to start investing or put it like start utilizing these tax
How to
strategies.
take advantage of this stuff. So essentially, so we're not calling the big beautiful bill. It's called the big beautiful bill.
That's right.
It's the bill that just got passed by Congress. Trump signed it. Essentially, it restructured so many different things within the tax code. It changed a lot of things in terms of how you operate. And what we're going to be talking about, if I remember, if as looking at the presentation and things that you and I have talked about, some of the things actually had been around before, and they brought them back.
Yes.
Things like opportunity zones, which was passed the first time Trump was in office in 2016, which I don't think they didn't understand it, right? And then there was the limitation that it expired. And so now he made that, for example, permanent. And because we did a lot of work on opportunity zones, I helped a lot of clients set up a few opportunity zone corporations and entities. Essentially, it's almost like a way to actually make money within an area and not have to pay taxes on capital gains and potentially even income, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I could be wrong with that, but I know for sure capital gains kicks it.
Capital gains is a big part of it. Yes. Real estate usually is pretty interesting because you can utilize depreciation. as one of the legislative laws that were in the big beautiful bill is section 179 bonus depreciation is back fully right
It's
now.
awesome.
It's 100%. So
What is that? Talk about a little about what is. I mean, we don't want to give away everything, right? But what a little bit about bonus depreciation.
yeah. So bonus depreciation is, let's just say you did some construction, you brought in furniture, fixtures, uh, just hard assets, right? Like this particular table initially, based on the prior laws, it was a part of the initial laws which Trump brought on. It did offset, but now it's back, meaning you can take up to 100% of the cost as
Of
a
the asset,
depreciation in year one
as opposed to amortizing it over the course
over a
of
certain period of
5 years,
time.
7 years, to the life of the asset. You're actually taking all when you buy it, you deduct it.
You have the option to
The
deduct
option
it.
to.
Why is that important? That offsets your income that you earn from real estate, right?
Got it.
It offsets your rent, and basically you're not paying taxes
Right.
on the income which you earn from rentals, right? Another good thing that, in my opinion, is pre-construction.
Oh,
The use of depreciation. So there's a lot of tax strategies. I wish I had my presentation on, but I would want to encourage people to show up tonight.
no, we're going to
And
talk more about this tonight. I
yeah,
mean, like the thing that I loved about the opportunity zones was, for example, we talk a lot about 1031 exchanges, right? And so that defers the capital gains, right? So I'm just kicking the can down the road.
yeah,
Versus in opportunity zones, if I hold the asset or I structure it the right way, within 10 years, my capital gains is zero.
is zero. Yes. So essentially, that was that's why the opportunity zones came into existence, because folks in the Congress or like the administration wanted people or investors to invest in up and coming neighborhoods.
Right. And this is investments for those of you who are out there. This is investments in like D style neighborhoods. Like these are neighborhoods that are um, uh, essentially abandoned by the economy,
Yes.
right? So they're struggling economically, they're lower income, and the idea is to spur and motivate investors to invest in those areas in order to get benefit and really, from what I remember, some. I mean, there's we're going to talk about the rules about that tonight, so we're not going to go into it, but you don't have to defer that. You're actually wiping out your tax liability.
Correct. You
I
have to
actually,
hold the property for a certain amount of time.
right,
If it is 10 years, you can offset 100% of the capital
correct,
gains. If it's 7 years, it's a little bit less. 5 years, it's a little bit less. But
right.
essentially, they want you to hold the property for a longer period of time to be
Right.
able to utilize
And you can
the.
do it in corporations.
You can do it in
Like you can set up a
corporations.
company in the zone, which that company then is flipping and investing and flipping and investing, and then all of its profits, as long as you're investing that company for a period of 10 years, your taxes are wiped out to zero
Your
on that as
taxes
well.
are wiped out. It is complicated
Very.
as it sounds, but essentially it has a whole structure behind it. You would have to rely on attorneys like yourself,
Of course, CPAs like
CPAs,
yourself.
and title companies, because we want to make sure the transfer of funds go from one property to the escrow account to the other property and not hit investors or the company's
Right.
operating bank account, because that would, to a certain extent, disqualify the sale as
Well, we'll talk about more of those
we'll talk
details
more
tonight.
about
We'll
that.
talk
Yeah,
about more
but I
tonight.
want to keep it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
casual. I want to have
Yes.
fun with this.
So fun fact that I know about you. So you are a tennis pro.
I used to be. I used to be. Now I have fun with it. So that's how I
So
came
from
to
tennis to
US.
taxes.
From tennis to taxes. Yeah, I came originally from India. I was born there. Very humble beginnings. Came to US on a tennis scholarship. Got the opportunity to play Division 1, NCAA Division 1
Wow.
tennis, where I helped my team win the championship my freshman semester.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Where my point actually clinched us the title.
Really?
So yeah, that's something I will always cherish. And at that point, I thought, man, it's only downhill from here.
That
uh,
was the apex of your lifeline, and the
that
rest of it
was
is
the
downhill. Right.
apex, actually. Yeah. So my freshman semester, yeah. So it was beautiful, and then it's and now here we are, you know.
Did you ever cross paths? 'Cause we have a mutual friend, Christina, Chris Wilson, right? She's also Division One tennis player, wasn't she?
Yeah, she played for LSU.
Did you guys ever cross paths or know each other, or is it different generations?
I'm not gonna comment on the generation, you know, but we're setting it up. We're setting up
Got it.
mixed doubles tennis, so we want to get back out there. And we have another common friend who's a real estate advisor who plays tennis
Oh,
as
nice.
well. And
You
we're
want to give him a
just
shout out?
uh, it's my buddy. Yeah, I would want to protect him. So you
Got it.
know,
Oh, so we're not talking about that. Got
yes,
it. Got it.
yes. So we're setting up a foursome, and we'll see. We're gonna have fun with it, and potentially business comes from it. You know.
That's very cool because you actually, if I remember, you actually, um, and I'm gonna put you out in the spot here right now because it's amazing. Um, the American story is really immigrants coming to this country, right? It's all about that. And you you did something similar to what my father did, which was come at a time by themselves to this country, not knowing anybody, um, for education, right? And then from there built yourself. I mean, that is a remarkable story. And as amazing as it is, people think that it's, it never happens, but it's a lot, right? I mean, that is the quintessential immigrant story of
Right.
coming for a better life. um, but you used to teach tennis to a lot of these extremely wealthy. Was it Martha's Vineyard or where was somewhere
It's the Hamptons.
in the
Yeah,
Hamptons? Yeah, the
yeah.
other, but the Hamptons. But you used to be a professional tennis coach in the Hamptons.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. Like,
Yeah, it was one
how
of
did
the
you get that opportunity? Like, and how did you get to there?
yeah, one of the best things that has ever happened to me, you know, because I got the opportunity to spend some time with the ultra, I would say 0.00001 percenters, right? Got the opportunity to spend time with them on the tennis court that is outside of their turf, right, which is
Right,
business.
right,
So it was a very interesting dynamic because they are very successful people in
hmm,
what they do, but at the same time, they were at my turf, which is the tennis court.
right,
So the relationship was very interesting because there was some level of mutual respect,
right.
and we were able to have like locker room conversations, and I was able to really be myself, and I've learned a lot from them as well. The things that you do not do, and it has helped me start my own practice in 2019. At that point, I probably was the youngest managing partner of an accounting firm, you
Oh
know. So I
wow.
started when I was 27.
Okay.
Not a lot of people probably don't have the courage, and it's all because of my immigrant mindset and the grind that led me to where I am. And I think you can relate to it because
Absolutely.
we're from the same part of the world on the eastern side,
Right,
right?
right, right,
And
right.
hard work is very valued.
It is.
The only difference is in this country, hard work generally gets rewarded. I have never met or seen a person that works very hard that hasn't made it, you know.
Absolutely.
So that's what the American dream is about, you know.
So what do you think from your, like, what did you said you learned things to do and not to do. Like, what were your, if you were to say, like, your top takeaways from that experience that you think got you to get to here from interacting with that 0.01% of the 0.01% of the 1%? You know what I mean?
Teamwork's big, trust is number 2, and surround yourself with people that you would like to call friends and then do business with, you know. That are the top things that I've learned from these very successful people, you know, because they have a sense of, like, basically, I think they know about a person by interacting with them in 30 seconds, you know.
Really?
Oh man, I don't know. There's something they come across thousands, millions of people in their lifetime that they know where a person is, where is he heading within 30 seconds of interaction, you know, which is pretty big. For me, it takes me about 3 to 4 minutes to get to know truly if that person is real or he or she is faking it, you
Right,
know.
right, right, right.
So it has. made me as a better leader to be able to get a grasp of people, and that translated me to be able to onboard better quality clients, in my business,
Okay.
that I want to call friends,
Right.
family, and help them grow their respective businesses.
Getting to pick and choose the right clients for you, not just any client.
Yeah, and it's a luxury, right? Because it takes certain years. Like at first when I started out, I would bring on anybody,
Right.
right?
Right.
Just, you don't have the luxury to say no. But throughout your work, you get referrals, you grow your business, you hire employees, and at some stage, it took me probably 8 to 10 years to be able to have the luxury to say, unfortunately, it's not the right fit, and we'll connect you with
Somebody who might be
somebody
a better
that
fit.
might be able to better serve you.
Got it. Would you say that interacting in the Hamptons and with that level of caliber, I don't want to say caliber, but just kind of to operate at that level, right? Did did you see you saw an opportunity that you didn't have exposure to, like that's where you wanted to go, or like that it's even possible? Like, did it open up the possibility for you just by seeing it, interacting with it?
It was a big impact. I'm gonna
Culture shock,
go
probably.
cultural shock, but this is more on the mindset side of things, right? It taught me to dream big. Coming from India, humble beginnings. Grandfather was from Pakistan side.
Right,
1947 partition happened.
right,
He probably went through a lot of hard times.
right,
May have seen some of his family get killed in the
right.
transition from Pakistan to
Of
India
course.
because we were Hindus and
Yeah,
we had to leave that part of the world. He
right.
started his life from nothing,
It's
right?
still a
So
conflict. The Kashmir conflict is still a
yeah,
problem to this
it
day.
still is. Not to get
Right?
political,
No.
but it taught me the value of mindset, right? That, number one, it taught me to dream big mindset, and with hard work, you're able to achieve that.
When you say mindset, I mean, I want to zero. I mean, I'm zeroing in on this, right? Because people are going to be watching this podcast and they're going to look at this and like, okay, well, we were talking about White Tiger earlier, right? And I haven't seen it, but you're telling me about the story of the son of the driver's entire dream his whole life, that he just wanted to be like his father, a driver, right? Like he was limited by his mindset as to where he can get to. When you say mindset, tell me, is there expand upon that, please?
Yeah. So what I mean is the possibility that a human being can do whatever they desire to, right? Provided they play the cards they're dealt with. For example, I cannot be an NBA because I'm 5'9". I
Right,
don't have the genes for it, right?
right,
But I can dream about having a nice place in the Hamptons, which does cost a lot of money, through what I do best, which is run my CPA firm and private equity fund. I'm able to do that. If I was in India, I was in my
box.
box, in ambience of my friends or whatever I grew up with. I would have never imagined to be living in at a place that I call home, which is Miami, where some people probably might kill to be there, right?
Right,
Uh, Not necessarily Miami, but in US, right?
right, right.
People look up to this place. So
Yeah,
it's all because I guess that luck did play a role in it. Tennis did help me a lot to pursue my American dream, but at the same time, interacting or not being afraid to put myself out there with the likes of people, learning about them, made me a better person and made me dream big
yeah.
and believe in my abilities to be able to make that happen, you
That's
know?
awesome. I was so we met through mutual friends in Miami, and I had the privilege of actually attending one of your groups. Right, I don't know if we can shout it out here, but
Oh, I give my life to that, man. It's Vestige. It's been great. I recently complete 1 year in
congrats on that.
Vestige. Thank you. Yes, it's a great community of. It's a peer board group, I call it, or my buddies call it AA for CEOs, where we come in and you did get the opportunity to
Good.
spend some time where you get vulnerable and you're able to express yourself, what's going on in your business, with your staff, personally, and how you can become a better human being, to be able to uh, grow whatever area, may it be personal, may it be business, may it be sports. So I recently made a decision to get back out there to compete, in
Right.
tennis, like after probably since 2017. So it's only possible because I'm able to manage my time better, and Vistage did play a big role in that. And I'm curious, how was your experience? And uh,
Oh, with Vistage? Oh, I thought it was fascinating. I mean, I so as an attorney, and this is my seventh or ninth career or whatever, but one of the things that I always struggled with in managing and leading was how alone it is at the top, right? Or how alone it is in a management role or in a leadership role, because everybody's looking to us as leaders for answers, and we don't have all the answers. And then trying to have that conversation with partners or junior partners who are just not in that mindset or frame
mhm,
is very difficult.
yep,
You can't have the conversation with employees or your staff. So it was, I remember for many years, I felt very much alone, right? Like in a silo. And then you try to talk to other people who are not in those roles and they just don't get it, right? Like people who don't manage people or don't run businesses or haven't been in those positions, it's hard. They can't relate. And so walking into a Fistage scenario and you're really with CEOs and top executives and top lawyers, and it was a we're struggling with the same situation, right? Like your story and your struggle with that employee or that merger or that acquisition is exactly the same thing that I'm struggling with, and I need that perspective.
yeah.
So I love that piece. And I remember having a conversation with our mutual friends, and they were talking about, look, as an entrepreneur, there's a slight level of insanity we have, right?
You have to be. You
You
have to
got to
be.
be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just like balls out all the way out, right? So I remember hearing some of the stories of some of the different people in the group and what they're doing. I'm like, oh my God, like that's insane, right? And I remember the one I asked a question. I said, okay, so if you look at everybody in this group, what is the one thing that you would say they all shared? And resoundingly, the response from everybody I'd spoken to was no fear, right? It was just like no fear.
What was the response? Like, how much time did it tell you? Like, you asked a question,
How long did
right?
it take me to get to that answer?
Yeah,
It was pretty quick.
right. Less than 1 second. There was no hesitation.
No hesitation. It
Yep.
was no fear. It was like it was amazing and impressive to hear how some of these executives and these people, these in your group, CEOs, would suddenly just decide that they're going to go and spend and do some amazing, like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to spend $2 million to do this. Now, granted, they had the 2 million, but then you also have the people who don't have the 2 million, but still went and balls out and jumped in to do something without any experience, without any knowledge, just the sheer will, right? So when you talk about you jumping out as a young junior executive or a young partner, right, and starting your own thing, that really resonates on the whole no fear concept.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. It's very lonely, and that's why platforms like Vistage helps you as a better uh, to become a better entrepreneur, to become a better person. And I also remember one thing you mentioned at the first meeting. Maybe it was because you were intimidated. We were talking about goals. It was actually in January. We were doing goal settings, and one of the goals, of course, was financial, and there was some sort of like fear or hesitation in your mind, right? That, oh man, like these guys are very successful, and mind you, like I'm nowhere close to what your financial goals were. I'm like way below, you know. But the point being is, people actually accepted that, right? They
Correct.
they weren't
They embraced the fear.
they did embrace
No
that.
judgment.
They wanted, yeah, there was no judgment. They wanted you to share freely. They wanted you to have those financial goals, whatever you had at that point in time. And I'm sure you've crushed it because you're doing very well,
Thank you.
and yeah. So I'm just very curious in terms of, is that something that switched, or because I know you on a personal level as well. You're going through a lot,
Yeah.
with divorce, and there's a baby girl there. So, but would you say Vistage or attending these meetings or being in that orbit has helped you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I had first came across it. I mean, before Vistage, I got involved with a legal coaching organization,
HCM, yeah.
right? HTM. And good, bad, and different, whatever you want to say about it, the community of attorneys, right? Just exactly the same thing, same mindset, same conversation, same struggles, whether you have, if whether you're a solo attorney or you've got, 18 people working for you or 20 attorneys or you're a $20 million law firm, like the changes are different, but still the mindset was what drove that.
Right.
And I mean, it without question, I think two things come off of this, right? And I would say one is the no fear, and two is the exposure, right? Like I don't know, it's the Plato's Republic. I don't know if you remember reading Plato's Republic, but essentially it was the guys in the cave, right? So the guys in the cave, and all he sees are shadows from the fire behind him. That's all they know,
Right.
right? And so kind of like your exposure to the Hamptons, my exposure to Vistage, my exposure to HTM, and just exposure in life just gave us a whole new what is, and you said it beautifully, what is possible. What is
Right.
possible. So
Is that your drive?
I think so. I
Nice.
think for me, I mean, it's interesting enough. I'm doing a master's in social work right now, right? And it's like, well, how is an attorney doing a master's in social work? And there's personal and professional reasons behind it. Um, but I think my drive is to just grow, and just expand, right? And how do I get to where I can actually where I'm working on the business, not in the business, right? And so where I can provide my expertise to the companies I'm supporting and working for and helping them out to get them to where they want to be.
Right.
It's kind of like Legos. I don't know if you remember Legos as a kid. I love Legos. I still love playing with the Legos, but I'm about building, right? I love building things. Um, so yeah, I think that's where my future's looking.
And how do you separate, like, because we're in the same industry, we're serving clients, we're in the service based business, right? How do you, and you do it very well because I know you personally. How do you separate your personal vendetta when you're serving clients that are probably worth billions, and we were talking outside, right, that, oh man, like, this brokerage that you're talking about, they're doing multiple billions, and here we are,
Right,
crying about the next meal or whatever.
right, right, right.
Right, and you do it very well, and that's something I do admire about you as well, to put your personal feelings aside to be able to genuinely serve clients, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, it's taken a lot. I know we've got a friend of mine that's here in the studio who's actually helped me a lot in my lifetime. But the idea of being able to separate out the personal struggles, right? And you talked about the divorce that I'm going through and the things I'm going through there. It's hard, right? But it really takes, again, mindset of mental health, taking care of myself, self-care, and being vulnerable, right? Like, and I think I saw that in the Vistage piece where you guys were, I know there have been conversations about personal life more than just the next dollar or the next business deal, right? And I think that's very critical. We don't see a lot of that. We're seeing more of it now, but not really a lot of that in general in the society of the mental health aspect of being a CEO or
Right.
being a business leader. Um, that is just as important as how much money and how many deals and how many clients you're going to serve. I know if you talk to any of the big investment bankers or the what do they call them, the people that invest in startups and stuff like in Silicon Valley and stuff,
VCs, venture
VCs, right? All the
capitalists,
VCs,
yeah.
they always require that the top guy or the top group of people have personal coaches, right, to help personally coach them through. And I've been lucky. I've had several personal coaches who've helped me weather. Um, I think I'm at the beginning of where we can be.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
well, I'm excited about tonight. So we're plugging tonight. It's going to be tonight, 1333 Butterfield Road in Downers Grove, Illinois. Love to have you guys. We're talking about real estate and the big beautiful bill with Nisch Rawal and myself, Mahmoud Faisal Elkhatib, the Bowtie Attorney. We'll see you tonight. And
Absolutely.
this is, what is it? Bowtied in Real Estate, where we untangle title and we tie up deals. Take care.